Good morning and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, Saxe, this December 27, 2020. Let's all take a deep breath together. And exhale fully. Inhale again. Exhale. Relaxing the body, relaxing the mind, freeing ourselves of distractions, tensions, obligations, the roles we play, the hats we wear. Letting go of all the noise mentally, all the chatter, the news, and dropping into our heart space. Or perhaps lifting ourselves into our heart space. Reveling in that space where we are more aware of our divinity, more aware of who we are, what we are, where we come from, what animates us, an all-knowing, all-powerful energy that is love, that is harmony and peace, that is prosperity. We breathe it in, knowing that this energy gives us life, gives us everything we need in order to thrive in this world, in all areas of our lives. Body, mind, spirit, and heart. We continue to breathe deeply. Affirming our oneness with each other. With all of us in this room, all of us listening to this broadcast, no matter where you are on the planet, we are one. We are all individual expressions of the divine presence. All of us a beautiful part of the fabric of this life that we live. As we settle ourselves in this oneness, this deep, deep knowledge that there is only goodness at the back of all things. And now in this beingness of power and might and assurance, we now sing our centering song, Spirit's Prayer.
Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. as within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore.
Let's enfold all of the children of the world in light and love as we say our children's blessing. Children of light, we see you guided and directed by an inward spirit that leads you into the path that is right for you. We see you strong and whole. We see you blessed and prospered. We see you courageous and confident. We see you as the spiritually perfect beings you truly are. Children of light, we bless you. And this is the inspiration moment from Daily Word. Today's word is faith. My faith in my abilities can help me create the life of my dreams. Much more than wishful thinking, my faith is how I begin to build the belief that I can do anything I set my mind to do. I use my faith to help me focus my beliefs and bring into my life that which I most wish to see. Together with my power of imagination, I use my faith to visualize myself freed from destructive habits, pursuing long-held goals, and realizing my most precious aspirations. I believe in myself. I believe I have a valuable contribution to make to the world. With faith, I believe I can make the rest of my life the best of my life. As I use my power of faith, I see a new reality taking shape before me, and I build the bridge of faith that takes me there. I have chosen the way of faithfulness. I set your ordinances before me, from Psalm 119:30. So together, 3 times, please, let's say this affirmation. With faith, I create my life anew. With faith, I create my life anew. With faith, I create my life anew.
Good morning. Good morning. Hello. 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 Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoiced
morning. And Merry Christmas once again. This year, there's so many people who just want to get this year done and want to see the end of 2020. This has been a year of many, many losses. Hundreds of thousands of people have died in this country and around the world just from COVID-19. In this country alone, we've had some losses. Many people are feeling a loss of belief in the integrity of our government. Some people are feeling a loss of security, a loss of independence and autonomy, a loss in control over our lives, though control, as we all know, is a fleeting thing, and there probably is no such thing as control, which I have certainly learned painfully at times. And I do believe, wholeheartedly believe, that behind every single loss and behind every hard time, behind everything that pulls the rug out from under us, behind everything that challenges us, there is still, like the blue sky up above the storm, that there is still goodness and prosperity and strength and power and joy and peace that's overflowing and infinite and infinite. And our spiritual practice enables us to stay in touch with that which is at the back of all experience and allows us to not spiral down and get caught in the mire that is life so much. But it's tough pulling ourselves above the fray when there's something going on, when the stuff gets deep and all you see is the stuff. And you feel slogged down and life feels heavy and your brain is just running 100 miles an hour. What can I do? What can I do? There's so much stuff happening. And we just feel besieged and belabored. And it's hard. It's hard. And you know, with Christmas coming, such magic happens during Christmas. I love the atmosphere. You know, the decorations kind of pick us up. And we get this spirit going during the season that stays sometimes as long as the decorations are up. And then as soon as we take them down, it feels like there's this letdown. I'm almost reluctant to take down my Christmas decorations in the house because I love the lights. And I love the trees and the sparkly stuff everywhere and the music and the movies and everything else. There's just so much that keeps us up here during the Christmas season. And then somewhere, for some it's December 26th, where it just seems like it's done now. We're done. Some people last until January 2nd. Some last through the month of January. There are times when I've left my decorations up until February because I just wanted to keep that outer representation of joy and light in the house. Our spiritual path calls us to be that light, to not need the outward expression, to not need the outward signs of joy and peace and harmony and the feelings we get when we look at each other and we say, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. How was your holiday? That special magic that just kind of crackles through the air during this time. It's an interesting phenomenon, I think. Everything's at such a high because we seem to just have all this stuff happening. And then when the stuff goes, we go with it. We kind of just fall a couple of inches. We drop a couple of notches in our thinking and our consciousness. So what do we believe? You know, there is the spiritual path, there is spiritual principle, but it takes work to really know, know deep in your heart, deep in your mind, deep in your bones, that there is only ever goodness. It takes work. It takes practice. It takes a year like 2020 to really let us know where we are. This is a real signal about how and where you are on your spiritual path. So think about that. We had hard times, but hard times don't necessarily mean that we must suffer. Doesn't mean we have to suffer. So if there was lots of suffering for a long time, perhaps it's time to take a look at our spiritual practice. It's time to take a look. Am I talking the talk or am I walking the talk? Do I need something outside of me to make it okay? Or do I know it's okay? Do I know it's okay? Can you still have peace and the knowledge that all is good, even though you might be sitting in the worst circumstances you've ever come upon? Do you? We really have to think about that. We need to know. Because in the end, there's only you to make a difference in that. Only you. I watched one of many Christmas movies, but Christmas morning I watched the new Christmas movie, Jingle Jangle. Just magical. Wonderful movie. Great lines, the lyrics and the songs were wonderful. The storyline was wonderful. The acting was wonderful. And one of the characters in the movie says to her grandchildren who ask her, she told them the story that is the central theme in the whole movie. And the kids said, "Why didn't you ever read us this story before?" And she said, "I didn't read it because you didn't need it then. I waited until it was time. I waited until you were ready for the magic, but the magic was always there." The magic was always there. Jesus came, Jesus was born to remind us, to show us, to live and exemplify for us that the magic is always there and you have it. It's interesting how Jesus walked this earth and reminded people of that. When he healed people, they were often looking for Jesus to say, "Yes, it was me. I bestowed this upon you." And he would turn to them and say, "No, it's your faith that made you whole. No, it was this. No, it was that. You take up your bed and walk." It is the Father that works through me. The Father and I are one. Jesus was so self-effacing, and he kept walking around saying, "It's not about me. It's not about me. It's the Father in heaven that does the works." He walked around with nothing. He had people following him everywhere. He didn't have lots of possessions. And yet, he bestowed miracles upon people. Fed over 5,000 people on a hilltop waiting to hear him speak. Loaves and fishes, the miracle of the loaves and fishes, turning water into wine. Jesus always invoked that presence that surrounds, that is life, that surrounds us, that is us, that's active in us. He always went there. And as much as people kept saying, oh no, it's you, and still we do that today. Oh, it's all about Jesus, it's all about Jesus. Jesus kept saying, no, it's not me, folks. You too have this. I'm just here to show you the way. I'm just here to show you the way. And he told stories, and he used allegories, and he used all these ways to help people get the point. And from time to time in Scripture, you'll hear him say, oh my gosh, I'm giving you all this information, and sometimes you still don't get it. You still don't get it. It's still true now. Sometimes we still don't get it. With all the teachers that are here. And it doesn't matter how many teachers there are, because at some point we have to get it. If you're going to have the kind of life that Jesus, that God bestowed upon us. In John 10, it says, very truly, I tell you, anyone who does not enter the sheepfold by the gate, but climbs in by another way is a thief and a bandit. The one who enters by the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. The gatekeeper opens the gate for him, and the sheep hear his voice. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. When he has brought out all his own, he goes ahead of them, and the sheep follow him because they know his voice. They will not follow a stranger, but they will run from him because they do not know the voice of strangers. Jesus used this figure of speech with them, but they did not understand what he was saying to them. So again, Jesus said to them, very truly I say to you, I am the gate for the sheep. All who came before me are thieves and bandits, but the sheep did not listen to them. I am the gate. He just said, I'm the gate. I'm not the one, I'm the gate. Whoever enters by me will be saved and will come in and go out and find pasture. Pasture's everywhere. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I came that they might have life, they, the sheep, and have it abundantly. I come that you may have life and have it abundantly. So what of sheep? Sheep are harmless and innocent animals. This is from The Revealing Word by Charles Fillmore. They represent the natural life that flows into man's consciousness from spirit. It is pure, innocent, guileless. The shepherds watching by night are the protecting entities of God that watch over us. They are the conservers and protectors. They affirm, quote, Jehovah is my shepherd, unquote. It is to acknowledge that God, Spirit, is the source of understanding and of all help. When we come innocent and open and follow the sheep, the shepherd is the protector of sheep. And Jesus uses that analogy. He is the shepherd. I know my sheep and they know me. You know my voice. You know God. When you hear God, that's what the sheep does. And we're just open and ready. Open and ready. Are we truly open and ready? For so much of my life, I was not. And it is those that are open and ready, who follow the voice, who know the voice of spirit who know that energy when they're in it, who know truth when they see it and feel it and encounter it. Those are the ones who will have life and have it abundantly. He said, I came to give you life. Not just a life, not just a heartbeat, not just survival, but to have life and have it abundantly. Have it abundantly. We're not here just to get by. All this didn't happen so you could just come by and struggle through. To have life overflowing. Abundance means an overflowing fullness, which sounds like that should not go together, because if you're full, how do you overflow? But it's a beingness, that fullness, and knowing that it is infinite, it never ends. It never ends. I came that you may have life and have it abundantly. Not just a physical life, a mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical beingness that is overflowing with vibrancy. All of it, all levels, all areas of your life, overflowing with goodness. Can we all say that we claim that and live that? Also in the revealing word, when it talks about abundance, it has steps in demonstrating. First, we must recognize abundance as an idea that is real and has power to expand. So if you don't know that there's abundance, if you don't claim it, if you don't claim that it is a real thing, you'll never have it. You have to know that this world is abundant, overflowing, and that there's enough for everybody. So much of us see that some people have it, but not me. Some people appear to be rich, but not me. And abundance is about so much more than money. There are some people who have very little money, but live rich lives. And there are so many people who have more money than they can count and have not an ounce of happiness. So what's the difference? What's the difference? If you don't know what's inside, if you don't know it's real, if you don't know that it's something more than what your bank account says, then you'll always be poor in spirit. So first, we must recognize abundance as an idea that is real and has the power to expand. Then we must talk abundance, choose words representing abundance, and thus build up an invisible world of substance. In this way, we build or form in our mind that which draws to us an abundance of every good thing. From Luke chapter 8, verse 18, for whosoever hath, to him shall be given. You have to know that you already have it. If you don't, you never get it. It has to be in the invisible first. You have to know that it's real here first, in your heart and in your mind, for it to flow into your life, for you to experience this overflowing abundance. So there may be work in convincing yourself that abundance is real and possible in every area of your life. So you might think, yes, I have a lot of love in my life, but this body of mine is falling apart. And how many of us say that out loud? How many of us say that? Oh, my memory's gone, I'm just getting older, I had a senior moment, I did this. I don't remember things. The body doesn't work. And yes, there are some times as we get older, the body doesn't act like it did when it was 20 or 30. However, if we walked around affirming that our bodies were young and vibrant and healthy, then they would be young and vibrant and healthy. I've talked about him before. Jack LaLanne was one of my icons, even when I was a little girl, because my mother would put me in front of the TV when his exercise show was on in the morning. And I would jump around the room with Jack LaLanne. And I followed him throughout his life. He was pushing cars, pulling cars, and doing all these athletic physical feats that some 20-year-olds can't do in his 90s. He was a force of nature. A force of nature. I was listening to, actually Mike Tyson was on that app, TikTok. And he was talking about that boxing, he was taught, was 90% mental and 10% physical. I loved watching him fight because he was just a machine. And he could come in, and I remember people paying all this money to go to a Mike Tyson fight, and it was over in the first round because he would just come in and in 30 seconds knock somebody out. I mean, he had like an iron fist. And he was a formidable man physically, intimidating physically. But he said it was his coach, his trainer that told him, you've got to be 90% there in your mind. And that's what you take in the ring. That consciousness of strength and invincibility. And he said that one of the first affirmations he was given that he used all the time, and he still uses now, is every day in every way I get better and better. And ever since I heard that on TikTok, I've been saying that affirmation a couple of times a day. Every day in every way I get better and better. That's how he got so formidable in the ring. He said, yes, it had to do with physical training, but 90% of it was strength consciousness. Strength consciousness. 2021, our theme is abundance. So we're going for the abundance consciousness in all areas of our lives: mind, body, spirit, and heart. Where are you feeling lack and limitation in your lives? Where do you need to work on your consciousness? In what area? If each of those 4 areas was a wheel on the car, which wheel is flat? So when the car is moving, it's all you hear is that thump, 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 thump. You know, you can always hear a flat tire before you see it. You know when somebody has a flat tire because you hear it on the road. So which part of your life needs more air in its tire? Mind, body, spirit, and heart. And yes, there are some areas of our lives that affect the other. For me, mind and body are just paramount, that connection between mind and body. When I am struggling through a workout, I'm talking to myself the whole time. I am strong, I am mighty, I can do this. One more, 10 more seconds, 20 more seconds. Getting this together because I know my body wants to lay on the floor. My body wants to go get on the couch and watch another Hallmark movie. But I am affirming vibrant health. And often in the moment, I have to say, yes, I'm strong when I'm not feeling strong. I remember one of the stories my mother told us. My family struggled for a lot of years. My father was still in teacher's college when my sister was born. She's the oldest of the 3 of us. So she was born in 1954, and he didn't graduate from Teachers College until 58, the year I was born. And so he worked a couple of part-time jobs to provide for the family because my mother was home with the babies. And then there was a third child after that, so they struggled. I remember many a Christmas we made Christmas decorations with tinfoil. They were some of my favorites growing up. And we strung popcorn because that's what we could afford. But one Christmas, my mother said that we didn't have dinner. There was not going to be a special Christmas dinner. And there was very little, if anything, in the refrigerator. She didn't know what we were going to have for dinner. But she dressed us up in the best we had, sat us at the table, set the table for dinner, because she knew in her heart that dinner was coming, even though there was nothing in the cabinets or the refrigerator. She knew something was coming. There's one of the things I always admired about my mother was her faith, especially in hard times. And lo and behold, at about 7 p.m., an aunt of ours showed up with a turkey and all the fixings and bags of groceries. Now that is demonstration of consciousness. There was nothing. She said she got up and cried that morning because she wasn't sure how we were going to get through the day. And my father hadn't gotten paid yet. But she knew that there was goodness and that there would be a Christmas dinner and that there would be food in the refrigerator. And she didn't know how. And I always wanted her to write down that story, but she told it to me a couple of times, and it always stuck with me. She had us get dressed for dinner and sit at the table and set it. And dinner came to the door. She didn't call my aunt didn't call her. She showed up. That's abundance, consciousness. That everything told her that the circumstances are that there will be no dinner, and maybe I should just put them to bed. And it came there. That's knowing that there's magic. How many of us have come from hard times like that? Many of our families started out like that, struggled like that. That's the kind of faith we have to have. That's the kind of demonstration. She said, we're getting ready for dinner. That's what she said. She told us. We're going to have Christmas dinner. And by that time, I was young, but I knew there was nothing being cooked. She wasn't in the kitchen. There was nothing on the table. I didn't smell anything. Cooking. When you're cooking holiday dinner, it's all over. The aromas are all over the house. There was none of that. None of that. That's the kind of consciousness we have to have. So what area of your life, mind, body, spirit, and heart, think of that. Seriously, because we're working on it in 2021. We're going there. There'll be work to do. I am one with the infinite substance that is God, and I am living the abundant life. I am a child of the universe, capital U, richly endowed with the fullness of all good. I am richly endowed, a richly endowed expression of the opulent universe. Universe, again, capital U, an opulent universe. Not just a world we live in that's beset by problems and hate and disharmony and racial strife and hunger and disease, an opulent universe. You got to know that it's in the back of everything else. I came that you may have life and have it abundantly. In the scripture it says, I put your ordinances before me. That which God has ordained is before me. The promises, and I walk towards the promise. I walk towards the plenty. I trust the word, the truth, that there is life, an abundant life, and it is mine. It is mine. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Expansion. Just when you think there can't be any more, there is more. Energy is infinite. God is infinite. That omnipresence, that omnipotence is infinite. So just when your life is overflowing with something, you are still at the tip of the iceberg, because there is no ceiling for any of it. That's what you need to wrap your head around, and that's what we'll work on in 2021. That's what we need to get in our heads, that it is infinite. And no matter how much you have, there's still enough for everybody else. It's not going to run out. Because prosperity is about divine ideas. God is divine mind, divine wisdom. And just like the affirmation we say at the end of service, that just our human eyes may tell us one thing, but our divine eyes, divine wisdom tells us something else. And that's what we put before us. That's what we walk towards. Goodness. And all this reminds me of the 23rd Psalm. Surely goodness will follow me all the days of my life. I fear nothing, because I have it all right here. I have it all right here. 2021 is going to be a year of us opening our arms wide and not being able to hold it all. Yeah. Overflowing fullness. Overflowing fullness. Can you handle it? Yeah. Say yes to that. That's where our lives can be. And so no matter what happens in 2021, no matter what happens to our lives individually, in this nation, around this world, we will be in an abundance consciousness. And so start talking it. Start thinking about what will you affirm and how will you affirm it. What are you going to say? Do you need to focus on your health and start talking differently about your physical body? Is it about the amount of love, the sharpness of your mind, peace and harmony? Is it about having peaceful relationships? Start speaking it into existence now. So that the ball is rolling by the time December 31st strikes midnight and we get into 2021. Go out of 2020 knowing that yes, this is good already. Pick up whatever lessons you had to learn from 2020. Whatever spanking you got in 2020. And all of us got spanked somehow, somewhere. Get the lesson, because we ain't getting spanked like that again. Because we may have hardship, but we won't have suffering. Peace and joy at the back of everything. I was talking with a friend of mine, and we were talking about grief this past week, and marveling at the fact that we can have grief and peace in the same moment. Grief and peace at the same moment. That in the midst of all your tears and weeping, you can say, life is good. Yes, I want to be here. Yes, this moment is beautiful. It might be messy, but it's beautiful. And I want this moment like I want every other moment in my life. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. I am living the abundant life. Yes, I am living the abundant life. And every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better and better. That's why Jesus was born. He said, I came here so that you may have life and have it abundantly. Hear my voice. Affirm that you and the Father are one. Come with innocence and openness. Open your arms wide. Know that it is your faith that sets you free, that gives you all that you need. I am watching you, protecting you, guiding you. I am creating you, giving you green pastures everywhere. All you have to do is see it, claim it, and say thank you for it. Say thank you for it before it ever shows up. And you have guaranteed it to overflow into your life. That was the promise. The question is, do you believe the promise? And it's okay if you don't yet. We'll work on it. It's all a part of the path. It's all a part of the practice. Practice, practice, practice. Peace and harmony and love. It's the same thing, just like Carnegie Hall. Practice, practice, practice. That's how you get there. Yes. So we say yes to the abundant life. Yes to the abundant life. Overflowing fullness. Overflowing fullness. Let's take this in a meditation. Breathe deep, knowing that breath is life and life is breath. And in your heart of hearts now say, I say yes to goodness. The all good, capital A, capital G, the all goodness is mine. I am that goodness. I am peace. I am prosperity. I am love. I need nothing, for everything flows into my life easily and directly. I am harmony. I am loving. I am loved. I am vibrantly healthy. And I get healthier and healthier every single day. I am focused. My mind is strong. My memory is good. I feel wonderful. I feel vibrant and alive. My outer circumstances do not dictate my experience of life. For I am a supreme manifester. I and the Father are one. I am one with infinite good. I am a wave in the ocean that is God. that God is, I am. Every single cell of my body positively sings with vibrant health. It courses through my veins. It animates my body, mind, and spirit. I radiate peace and joy wherever I go. I see the magic, I feel the magic. I am the magic. And the magic of Christmas follows me every day of my life. That peace and goodwill is infinitely. And I experience overflowing fullness every day. Every day. Overflowing fullness. Overflowing fullness. And so now in your heart of hearts, say yes to all good. Say yes and say thank you for overflowing fullness. Yes, it is mine. And I shine the glory that is God in this world. I shine my light brilliantly. I am a brilliant light. Feel that light exploding in your chest, radiating to every single part of your body, healing it, animating it, breathing for you, sustaining you, helping you to thrive. Mind, body, spirit, and heart. So we take a deep breath in and exhale, settling into that feeling of overflowing fullness. Settling in, claiming it, memorizing it, knowing it, being thankful for it, calling it forth. Overflowing fullness. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen. Overflowing fullness. We certainly have that in this community. More love, more peace. A connection, deep connection with each other. A trust. It's a phenomenal thing what we have here. Phenomenal thing. And so we know that all of us, we've all been called here for a very special walk together. And to shepherd this place and this feeling, this community that is its people, not just this building, into the next 30 years and beyond. And so knowing that we are one with that source that has given us all of this bounty, we now affirm our celebration of giving. Together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all the good that I am and have, all the good that I give and receive, and so it is.
save our sons and daughters. Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? This child that you've delivered will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy will give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will calm a storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? When you kiss your little baby, you've kissed the face of God. The blind will see, the deaf will hear, and the dead will live again. The lame will leap, the dumb will speak, the praise of that your baby boy is Lord of all creation. Mary, did you know that your baby boy will one day rule the nations? Did you know that your baby boy is heaven's perfect lamb? This sleeping child you're holding is the great
Thank you. Let's give thanks for our tithes and offerings. We are so deeply grateful for the time, treasure, and talent that overflows into this community to help us to grow and thrive and do the work that we are called to do, to bless all those who come within these doors and all those whose lives we affect around the world. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen. And so let's lift in prayer those that we hold in our hearts and minds. So for Clayton's family. Beverly.
Nadine. Always.
For the Biddick family. Yeah.
All my family and friends and those I haven't met yet.
Bless the beast and the children, doctors, Broadway. Yes. All creatures great and small. Thank you for that, Father.
For Carl and Alexine, for Lola, for Melissa and family, for the Silverberg family, Reba and Eddie, Paul and Judy,
Yeah, Paul and Judy.
For Marilyn. For all those who are still suffering with loss and who somehow feel like they have lost the magic in their lives. For all these that we have named, and for all those who are in our hearts and minds, but who may have been unnamed this morning. We know that they are whole, perfect, and complete, and their highest and good, best is always at work in their lives. And at the back of all those circumstances, there is peace, joy, love, harmony, prosperity, clarity, and comfort. Amen. And now our prayer for protection. Is that correct? No? Oh, announcements. Did I have any? Oh, yes, we do have one. So yes, our 2021 theme is abundance. I came that you may have life and have it abundantly, from John 10:10. So we're going to do a book study per quarter. The first book is the Book of Joy. It's a book about from the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu about how to find joy even though your world might be falling apart. So we're going to start with the heart. Heart is first quarter of the year. And finding abundance, overflowing fullness in the heart space of our lives. So the book study starts, I think it's January 19. Is that the next? Did I put one up for that book study? I don't know. It was in the newsletter. I forget now. Please don't make me remember. It is in there somewhere. So I believe it's January 19th, and it goes for 6 weeks. So we'll study the Book of Joy. Next Sunday, January 3rd. Wow. So 2021 is coming Thursday. So we'll have our board installation. Jan Collins and Pete Fuentes, our new board members, will be installed. So all the board members will be up front. We'll throw things at them. No, I'm just kidding. The dunking booth, yes. We'll bring it in the sanctuary. So next Sunday, we'll do that towards the end of service next Sunday and have our installation. Any questions at all? Or Fred, did you want to come up? Your board president, ladies and gentlemen.
Good if I don't use this microphone. See? Good morning.
Good morning.
And it would probably, since we're ending this year, I'll go ahead and tell you a little story. And it's a Christmas story, believe it or not.
Aww.
According to the Fish and Game Department of Alaska, only female reindeers keep their antlers. The male reindeers lose their antlers in winter, and the female reindeers keep their antlers all the way to spring. So what that means is that all of Santa's reindeer were female, from Rudolph all the way to the end. And wouldn't you know that only females could carry a fat little man around in a red suit all in one night and never get lost? I heard that, and we're outnumbered, guys, so be careful. I heard that from a woman, so obviously. I want to remind you that as we're ending up this year and we're starting next year, we need you to let Kim know or fill out a pledge slip to let us know how much you want to increase your pledges for this next year so that we can meet our goal. Right now, believe it or not, we're 65% away. We've pledged 65% of what we need, of the $1,000. So we're very close. So if we can get everybody that hasn't sent one in to let us know, then we'll be able to budget better for this next year. The last thing is, don't forget about the bricks. I haven't turned the order in. I've got one more week left to go. I'm not going to turn it in until the end of this week. So if you would like a free brick, we have a sponsor that's paying for them. And so if you've got something that you've put off, as most of us do, please fill a sheet out or let us know, and we will be more than happy to get your brick installed in our walk, because it's rapidly filling up, and we are hoping to end up in 2020. We're hoping to end it up with our brick path, at least this part of it, full. So we appreciate everything that the board, we appreciate everything that everybody has done to keep our community and our church thriving and safe and prospering. And we really sincerely appreciate everybody's effort. So thank you very much from the board.
Now the prayer for protection. I'm just a confused little girl. Together, let's recite. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And our mission and vision? Together, let's read with all our power and might. We are Unity Spiritual Center, Saxe. We are a thriving global community of spiritual seekers, transforming lives through love and the expression of our divine. Our mission is to inspire spiritual and personal growth through the teaching and demonstration of unity principles toward the realization of living our best lives. Divine wisdom is at work in every area of our lives right now. Divine wisdom is opening ways where to our human sense there is no way. Everything is always working out for me. And now Tom and Kate.
What child is this who lay to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet?
Thank you very much for spending your Sunday with us. It's your energy, your presence that makes this the special place that it is. So I am grateful for each and every one of you, and I love you dearly. Have a wonderful week. Have a happy new year. Bring it in safely and healthy. And say yes to abundance. We're starting off 2021 claiming abundance. Yes. Namaste.